company showcase by Check4Cancer.
Check4Cancer is not a start-up. We're an established UK company providing cancer screening and diagnostics. Skin cancer incidence is increasing worldwide, and we have international shortages of dermatologists. So recently we've used data from our own teledermatology pathway to build a skin cancer AI model for skin lesion classification. So it's called SkinTel. It has two inputs: a dermoscopic image, which is a standard high-quality magnified image used by all dermatologists and skin cancer nurses. We were lucky to have extensive clinical information associated with each of the 80,000 images that we used, and we've taken that down to 7 major risk factors, and we've developed a novel risk score. The model classifies the images as suspicious or not suspicious. Those with a suspicious lesion go straight to a face-to-face assessment, and a clinician decides whether they need a biopsy or not and performs that biopsy. Patients with a non-suspicious classification are reassured and discharged. So we've recently validated this model in 36,000 images that were not used to build the model. If you look at column 1 here, you can see that we were able to correctly identify 99% of the skin cancers that were in that group, with individual results for melanoma of 97%. Now in green are the published results for experienced dermatologists doing a face-to-face assessment using dermoscopy. And if we toggle our specificity, as we've done to 80%, as we've done in column 2, you can actually see that actually we're very competitive, and really for non-melanoma skin cancer, we hugely exceed what's possible by human reporting. Now, despite missing a lot less cancers than experienced dermatologists, we're always going to focus with AI on missed cancers, and we missed 5 out of the 502 cancers. So let's look at why that happened. So this is a table showing the confidence of the model in making a non-suspicious classification along the bottom. And then these are the missed cancers. So as you see, as the model gets more confident that this is not suspicious, we miss less and less cancers. And in that model validation, the model settled at 86% for deciding above which something would be not suspicious. But if we increase that threshold, and if we get up to 93%, we don't miss any cancers. So is there a way of harnessing this change in threshold to use this effectively within a terminology pathway? So if we could introduce this before any human reporting into our teledermatology pathway, this is what it would look like. What you would do is you'd identify the suspicious group in red, and they would go straight to face-to-face assessment and possible biopsy. In the pathway on the left, autonomous use, you could reassure those patients because their threshold is 93% or more. There are no cancers in that group. And then this middle pathway is for a non-suspicious diagnosis which falls short of that 93%. The 5 missed cancers are in this group, but in this group, the healthcare professional can use the output of the AI model as a decision support tool. And we know that they will find those 5 cancers because they were diagnosed by human reporting when they were originally diagnosed. So let's put some numbers on this from that 36,000 images. And what you see is just almost 12% go straight to face assessment. Greater than 50% can be reassured without missing those cancers. They will need some kind of follow-up or contact at 3 months to make sure nothing has changed. The remainder, which is just over a third, come down this healthcare professional using it as a decision support. Now, these were 36,000 images in over 19,000 patients. So let's see what happens to the patients if you map them to this process. Here we are. So 17% of patients go for face-to-face assessment. That's pretty close to what we do in the current teledermatology pathway without AI. 60% are reassured. That's almost 80% of this pathway now being automated, with the remainder coming down the decision support tool. So I think there is a way to introduce AI effectively into this particular pathway. By streamlining a lot of it and making this pathway more efficient, we can scale this up, make it more widely available to people, because that's one of the challenges with this rising cancer incidence and the reduction in the shortage of workforce. Because you're going to diagnose cancer earlier, the costs will be much less. And because you're introducing huge efficiencies in the pathway, the costs will be much less. So as we go forward, we're going through regulatory approval in the UK and the US. We're very interested to partner with people who can work with us to validate the model in populations outside the UK, and we look forward to having those discussions over the next 2 days. Thank you very much.